Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Give everybody a moment to get in here. I know it's a early morning, but it is what I do. This is what I do. When it comes to me, I share it with you. Every morning I get up and now that I live in South Carolina, it's sunny here a lot and I need the sun. So I moved from Seattle, Washington in July, this past July, to sunny South Carolina. And what I love the most is that I get up every morning, come to my kitchen, and I got a door made of glass, and I look out and look at just the beautiful sunny weather every morning, right? And then it gives me a chance to think and what I'm going to create and share with you guys. And so when things come to my mind, I get online and share with you. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning. You look like you're the first one in. How you doing? And you know how every people say everything changes, right? Everything changes, blah, 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 right? And that's a natural response. But the one thing I can honestly say that never changes is mathematics. Math never changes, ever. Hello, Brian. Good morning. Brian says, good morning, sir. I watched the show last night with the doc. I'm very interested in stocks. However, I have to wait to get out of debt to proceed. Exactly. And that's exactly how you do it, Brian. That's exact. Now, you can watch and listen. That's cool, just prepare yourself, understand the words and the meanings and all that other good stuff. But early bird catches the worm. Glad to be on. Exactly, Jennifer. Good morning. And this is what I was thinking this morning. I was looking at some, you know how Facebook pops up old photos of you at different times, 10 years ago, blah, 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 right? Every time I look at myself about 10 years ago, I was thinking, had I known how easy it is to get at, had I known how easy it was to become a millionaire just using mathematics, all I had to do was use simple mathematics on my finances, and I'd have been a multimillionaire years ago. Years ago. It's crazy to think about today. When things seem expensive when you're in debt. But I promise you guys, those of you guys that follow me, you get out of debt, life is not even that expensive at all. Now that I'm out of debt, I can clearly see how to become a millionaire. Okay. It's really simple. One second, you guys. I forgot to get my water. One second. Okay. Give me a minute here. Get my glass. And once out of debt, I no longer look at money individually and collectively. And I'll give you guys an idea of what I mean. And the younger you hear this, the quicker you become a millionaire. Okay. This is what I do. I help create the next generation of millionaires. So this is how I look at money now. So say like you're in traffic and imagine removing all the cars, everybody that has car payments, removing all the cars off the road that have car payments. Do you think there would be any traffic? There would be no traffic. No traffic at all. This is how I look at it. This gives you kind of an illustration of how it is today for me to be on a debt-free side of the finance world. Imagine this. Imagine pulling out all the people that have mortgages, like remove them from the houses. Can you imagine how many houses would be available to you if you removed everybody with mortgages? That's what it's like. That's what it's like to be a millionaire, a billionaire. And I'm using the word millionaire, billionaire, so you guys can get an idea of what it's the best way I can illustrate this to you. This is how much room it is over here. That's how much room. It's an unexplainable feeling, and all you have to do is apply mathematics to your finances, and that's it. I don't need any other education. Nobody will be able to fool you financially. Nobody, because it all boils back to basic mathematics. That's it. Even when I think back about my past relationships, I have 3 adult boys now. Okay, even with relationships, children, when you're in the debt matrix, people always say things like, "Oh, there's no perfect time to have kids. There's no perfect time to get married. Just do it. You'll figure it out." Blah, blah. That's not true either. That's not true. Once you get out of debt, you pretty much have a 90% chance of picking the right partner, picking the right partner to have children. You know when to have children. I promise you. When you're out of debt, you know exactly when. So, for example, like this, if I if I if I knew this in my 20s and 30s, that's the first question I'm going to ask whatever potential partner I'm gonna be with. How much debt are you in? And if they don't know, if they don't care, if they believe debt is just part of life, I wouldn't proceed any further with that person, with that woman. I wouldn't proceed with her because she's in debt. She lives in the debt matrix. I know. I choose not to live in the debt matrix. I promise you, my whole world has changed. You see those few examples that I gave you, it's like when you don't understand money, you don't really know who to listen to on YouTube. You don't know who to trust with your money. All that changes. You know exactly who to trust. You just listen to them. And anybody you go into business with, you just ask to see their personal credit report. It doesn't matter how they feel about it. A lot of people get standoffish when I ask that question. Yeah, you want to do business with me? Yeah, I want to see your personal credit report. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Period. I post mine online. Brian says, my first wife's mother asked to see my credit report. I thought she was nuts. Now I understand. Wow, Brian, that's crazy. I know. I can only imagine what you must have felt like when she asked to see that. I totally understand now. Ain't that crazy? When I post my full entire credit report online, that should tell everybody. When people see that, they're like, "Oh my God, how can you post your entire credit report online?" Because it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. It's just something that the banks made up that's tied to your social security number that you cannot lie about. You can't lie about it. People don't. I believe the majority of people really they look at credit as just a way to. I mean, they don't know what they're saying. It's just a way to get deeper in debt. I get people that you hear it all the time. I'm trying to better my credit score so I can get a house. Now, when you hear people talk like that, they have no idea that they're telling me they are in debt. I'm trying to get a house this year, so I need to improve my credit. If you're just now starting this year to get a house, and the first step you're talking about is improve your credit, you're in debt because it takes way more time to prepare to buy a house than that. But the majority of people don't understand that. That's why I try to illustrate to you guys. Good morning, Art. This is why I try to illustrate to you guys that the best way I can is like, if you're in traffic and you remove all the people with car payments, there would be no traffic. That's what it's like to be debt free. That's what it's like to be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. Remove all the people from houses that have mortgages. There'd be houses available everywhere. That's what it's like. Like like youngsters, you come across a partner and and you're starting to get serious and you're thinking about children and you're like, oh, I don't know when's the perfect time to have children. The perfect time to have children is when you have no debt and having a child with a partner that has no debt. That would drastically reduce your chances of that relationship not working out. I promise you. I promise you. The perfect time to have children is when you have no debt. You will know when to have them, how many you're going to have. I promise you. All your ducks will be in a row if you get out of debt. Brian says, "Yep, before we got married, she said to me, if you're in debt, I don't want my daughter marrying you." Holy moly. How did you feel about that, Brian? Did that offend you? Ain't that crazy? You understand it now, right? She was just like Jennifer says, she was on it, Brian. Wow, that is straight up. But now that you know today, hey, it's nothing. Brian says, "May have to get back on the road, but I'll be listening. Everyone have a phenomenal day." Okay, Brian, thank you for dropping in. Fasting for life. He's cracking up. But today, it's it's just it's crazy living in a whole different financial world. It's crazy to have a YouTube channel that's unlike 90% of finance channels on YouTube, right? And it's so simple, just basic mathematics. You can become a millionaire. You can. You don't, doesn't have to be chance. You don't have to have a certain job. You don't have to have a certain business. You just understand mathematics and everything will unfold right in front of your eyes. I promise you. And nobody will even see it. This is why I love what I do, right? You guys been watching, right? Yeah, it doesn't grow as fast as a gossip channel, right? But you think about it, gossip really means nothing. You're just talking about a bunch of people talking about their opinions, the opinions of others, doing whatever, living their lives. The biggest one is when I hear people gossip about like stars. Okay, that just kills me. I think to myself, you're gossiping about multimillionaires, people that have figured out what their dream is, their passion is, and now they're multimillionaires, and people gossip about them. I'd be like, you're gossiping about the stars, the people that have made it? Okay, whatever. But to have people that follow me now that understand that is just basic mathematics. You can weave through all the fakers now. Fakers are the people pretending to have money. I want you guys to understand this. Rich is not a look. I know TV, I know rap stars, I know famous people. They make it look like it's a look, but being wealthy, rich, wealthy, whatever you want to call it, there's a distinct difference between rich and wealthy, but it's not a look. If the majority of people are in debt, right? 85% of Americans are in debt, right? But if you walk out on holidays and out in the street, you would swear nobody's in debt. But it's the proof's in the pudding. There's a lot of people faking it. Once you get out of debt, it's easy to see the fakers. If the majority of people are in debt, why would you want to show the majority that you have money? I wouldn't want that kind of attention. That kind of attention makes no sense. I guarantee you this. The really wealthy people, you have no idea who they are because they know it's not cool to be in the limelight if the majority of the world are in debt. The majority of the United States is in debt. They don't need to see it. And if you're young in your 20s and 30s listening to me, let me explain something to you. You can still the myth of being frugal, not not being able to do and buy the young, you just when you're young, you just buy things that I don't know. You just you just do it. I'm just saying it because I did the same thing. But had I known how to stay out of debt and become rich by not financing things, I could have still fit in with my friends and family, but I would have did it a very different way. I would have did it with no debt and paid for everything half the price. How would I do that? By buying from other people that are in debt. The people in the debt matrix are struggling. Okay? They have no idea that they're in debt because of themselves, right? And then when they get in over their head, they're ready to sell. They're ready to sell anything they have for half the price. And the reason why they jump off of it so easily, because they say things like this: oh, I don't care. It's the bank's money anyway. That's exactly how the bank wants people in debt to think. Oh, if I borrow the money and I lose it, it's not my money. It's the bank's money anyway. I don't care. Okay. All right, person in debt. And then I just come along and buy whatever they have for half the price. And so you still get to fit in with people in the debt matrix because we have to get along with them. We have to, our friends, our family, those are the people in debt. And we have to participate in that world. We do. But I'm teaching you, you guys come to this channel, you refer your friends and family to this channel. I will teach you how to get out of the wrong side of that financial world, how to become a millionaire. And that's just with having a regular job. You don't need no fancy degree. You don't need I don't need a finance, from Harvard, business degree from Harvard. I don't need none of that. That's also, that's also a facade. Okay. I promise you, that's also facade. And I'll give you an example. Like accountants are trained. They go to school, they got college degrees, right? Accountants are trained to balance books. And to be an accountant, you must know mathematics, right? You must know mathematics. That's a must. According to math and accounting, no accountant in the world should be in debt. They know how to balance books. They know how to bring everything to zero, right? How come accountants are still in debt? That doesn't even make any sense because it has nothing to do with that. It's the conditioned mindset. Like I hear people all the time saying, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. This is what I say to them. I say, how do you count to a million? You start with zero, then you go one, two, three, four, all the way up to a million, right? That's how you do it. Now add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Yes, including your mortgage. Yes, including your student loans. Yes, including collections. Yes, including parking tickets. Yes, including all that. It all counts. Add it all up. Now, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be a large negative number. Now, if you're trying to get to 1 million, that's where you start. That's where you start. That's your starting point. That's well below zero. You got to get to zero to start counting to 1 million. But if you're in the negative, that's where you start. That's what math says. Math says that's where you start if you want to become a millionaire. Now, if somebody told me this in my 20s, it would have clicked. I couldn't have got mad. I couldn't have turned to that person and said, "Oh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about." No, it's just mathematics. You can't argue with mathematics. Math is undeniable. You're gonna look like an idiot if you don't agree. It doesn't make any sense. So it would have told me, "Wait a minute, that's the answer." Because when you're in the debt matrix, you believe it's going to be some kind of business, or it's going to be some job that's going to take you to this next level. All that stuff. You just think that, right? When all you got to do is start with yourself. That's what upsets me. Is that all I had to do was start with myself. There was a couple of times in my 20s that I had a couple of signs back then that kind of told me, but I still didn't catch on, right? Because I remember I was in my early 20s and I was already into the financing stuff, right? But a couple of times I remember buying a VCR in cash, right? I remember one time I did that. I bought it in cash, and I remember taking it home and feeling good about it, feeling good that I paid for this VCR in cash. I was like, yeah, I own it. Came home, plugged it up. Yeah, it's mine. I have no payments. It still didn't click in to say, if I just live my whole life like this, not making payments, I'll always have money, but it still didn't click. I remember when I bought a car from my friend in cash, and I was so happy that I didn't have car payments. It was an older car. So what had happened was I saw my friends get newer cars, but they were financing the cars, and they were talking about me. Oh, your car is old. Look at this. And, I got caught up in it. I was like, man, my car is old, but it was paid off. And I didn't realize I was ahead of the game, ahead of the financial game, because they had car payments and I didn't. Jaws 2003 says, yep, they had to take business calculus much easier than traditional calculus. See what I'm saying? You don't even need none of that. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to fit into the regular, I'm not saying not be an accountant. I'm not saying that at all, right? I'm saying if you just know what I'm telling you right now, if you're an accountant right now, and if you just apply the basic mathematics, not calculus, not advanced calculus, not traditional calculus, the math we learned in grade school, apply it to your finances, because this is why I say anybody you do financial business with, you ask to see their personal credit report first. That is first and foremost. And if they know, they'll be happy to show you. But if they don't know, they won't, right? And if this is you and you're too nervous to just share with anybody, or just even let anybody know, if this is you, you're missing a major piece to becoming a millionaire. And I'm telling you right now, you're trying to count to 1 million while in the negative. Math says that will never, ever work. If you believe you're a homeowner while having a mortgage, you're fooling yourself. You're not a homeowner. You got to ask yourself this: why do I believe I'm a homeowner when math clearly shows that I'm not? Even if you believe that you have money in retirement, right? Once you start thinking about money collectively, you'll stop believing that. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. How much money do you have in your retirement? Yeah, don't forget to take out the taxes. That's how much money you have in retirement. You probably have zero. The majority of people do. If you're young right now, 20s, 30s, first of all, don't, if you're young and you believe 30s is old, no, it's not. Don't reminisce of back, oh, if I would have known this in my 20s and you're in your 30s. No, you can turn that around big time. You'll pass up all your friends and family, all that. Financially, doesn't matter. You'll pass them all up. You want to know how to see the people who are in debt? Just say things like this. Hey, man, that student loan debt crisis, man, it's out of control. And see how they respond. If they respond with emotions, they're in debt. They have student loans and they're upset about it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. So if you see them driving a brand new car and you bring up student loan debt and they get upset, they're in debt. They're making car payments and they're making student loan payments. That's why they're upset. That will no longer be part of your world. This is the best way I can illustrate my world today to you. What it feels like to be 100% debt free. This is what it feels like. It's amazing. I keep telling you guys, it's amazing. There is no stress. I rarely think about money. I don't worry about bills. I don't worry about a due date of a debt. Collection agencies, people buying houses up thinking I'm missing out on something. No, it's like when I see, like, down here in South Carolina, in Myrtle Beach, there's new housing complexes going up like hotcakes, right? And then next thing you know, you drive by, it's all full. Now, the average person in debt will probably believe like, oh my God, I just missed out on getting in that neighborhood and buying a house there. And you would think that everybody has money to buy houses. That's not true. Don't fall for it. That's foolery. That's foolery. Is foolery a word? I think it is. Jaws for Life, or Jaws 2003 says, I fell for that trap with having an auto loan. When I pay my current car off, I'm doing that again. I'm not doing that again. Too much cash goes to interest. Exactly. If you're new to my channel, this is what I can promise you. Okay. Number one, I'm not a credit fixer. Okay. If you come here to my channel and believe I'm the person that's going to help you improve your credit so you can get deeper in debt, I am not a credit fixer. I help create the next generation of millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. And I do it with basic mathematics. That's it. Everything in the world changes. Never forget this. Everything changes except what? Mathematics. Mathematics will never change, no matter the year, no matter the decade, no matter the century. Math will always remain the same. I help build your wealth building foundation by removing the cracks in your foundation, the cracks that are leaking money out of your bank account. Interest are the cracks in your wealth building foundation. Anything you're financing on and you're paying interest on, those are cracks. Don't be fooled by the people that promise you that this This vehicle, this insurance policy, this retirement account, this stock market account is going to be the vehicle that's going to get you out of debt. That's all a lie. That's not true. None of it's true. And that's not me saying that. That's mathematics saying that. I'm not saying this. Believe in mathematics and it'll set you free. This is how you decipher from the fakers out there that's trying to get you to get in one of these multi-level marketings. I don't want to call it a scheme because it's a legal business. It's legal, okay? But it's just they're just selling you another dream. This is why when you go to like multi-level marketing events, they're in big stadiums, and then you see the people on stage that's a diamond, ruby, emerald, whatever they call it. They all pretty much all the same thing, right? And then they get on stage and they give you some sob story, from rags to riches sob story, and how they did it with this particular MLM. It's all the same. I remember when I went to one of those MLMs when I first became financially free. And I promise you this, when you're debt free, you listen to those meetings totally different. All the people that it's almost like I can't prove it because but mathematically it just makes sense to me, right? I walked in this particular one. I'm not going to name it, but it's just business, right? I remember I walked in. I met up with some guy and his wife. He invited me to one. I came over there, and it's this is just weird. I walked in, and you got people from all ranges, from early 20s up to their 60s. All right. And I'm walking in with this guy, and they're all coming up to me. Oh man, you're cool, man. You're working with so and so. This guy, let's just call him Fred. Okay, let's just call him Fred. All right. Are you working with Fred? Oh man, he's the best. Blah blah blah. And as we're walking through the crowd, oh man, that dude's 21. He's a multimillionaire. That dude's 30. He's a multimillionaire. That dude's he's 60. He's 60, and he just retired from his job working 30 years. Now he's a million. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. In my head, I said I can prove none of that unless I see their personal credit report. I don't believe any of that. I have to see it. But imagine if you're in debt and you believe what they're saying, you're going to fall for it. The next thing you know, you're buying the products, and then you look up on the stage and you see all these people that look like they have money, and then they show the pictures of them having multiple houses and dogs. I don't know any of that you're showing me up on the screen. I have no idea if any of that is yours. How do I know you just didn't pull those pictures off of Google? The key is this. All they have to do is make you believe it. All they have to do is make you believe what they're showing you. That's just like anything in this world. It's once you become financially free and you come across somebody that's trying to help you with your finances, or make you believe they know what they're talking about. And when you ask to see their personal credit report and they get offended, you gotta, at that moment, that's the moment where you gotta understand that. Why are you offended? That doesn't make any sense, because if somebody asks to see my personal credit report, I'll be like, sure, I'll pull it up for you right now. Here you go. You want to see it? It's nothing on there that would be offensive, but the conditioned mindset is to make people look like that, to make them feel offended, I guess. I don't know, because people are quick to show their credit scores all the time, right? Oh, what's your credit score? Like it means something. The only thing a credit score means is this: if a person pays their debts on time or not. That's it. It means absolutely nothing else. Nothing. And the wonderful thing I love about the credit report, how powerful it is. A credit report is powerful, not a credit score. A credit report, it is powerful, because a person in debt cannot lie about it. It's tied to your social security number. A person's personal credit report is tied to their social security number. They cannot change it. So anybody, like, just not even just business, if you decide to get in some personal relationship with somebody, you meet them, hey, what's your name? And this is what I would do. What's your name? Of course, they're going to tell you the first and last name, especially if you're starting to get serious, right? Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. This is your first, last name, middle initial, right? And then you go, hey, by the way, before we get serious, I need to see your personal credit report. Their name better match the name on the credit report that they show me. And they're going to pull it up in front of me. They're not going to say, hey, I'm going to get it for you. And then they're going to email it to me. Like, no, you're going to pull it up in front of me. I want to see it. I don't want no foolery. And the name they give me better match the name on that credit report. Because if it doesn't, they're lying. People in debt, the crazy part about it, people in debt don't know they're in debt. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm never going back, ever. I'm never going back into the debt matrix, ever. Never. You'll never. I think about all the years of the 40-hour work weeks, going to get jobs. And I remember sitting down at the table, you get hired and you're filling out all that paperwork, right? I remember filling out all that paperwork. And then they get to the retirement piece. And then they say, hey, if you work here for 30, 40 years, this is your retirement package. And I remember deep down inside, I'm like, 30, 40 years at the same place? And then at the end of that long, I'll have X amount of dollars, crossing my fingers and hoping this vehicle, wherever my money is sitting, is going to provide for me at the end of my work life or whatever. Never once did I stop and say, I don't want to be here that long, or put it this way. Never once did I stop and say, you mean to tell me I don't believe in myself that I can't even make $1 million in 30 years of my life? That should have been a signal. That should have been a light on in my head right at that moment. I said, wait a minute, something's wrong here. There's people doing it every day right now. And I'm saying I'm going to do this. I'm going to have X amount of dollars after 30 years of coming to the same place, sitting in the same chair, sitting at the same computer screen, sitting in the same cubicle for the next 30 years, and hope and cross my fingers that I have enough money to retire after they take the taxes out of that money. Are you crazy, Linnell? I wish somebody would have said that to me. Never once did I think anything of it. I thought, oh, it's so far away. I'll get to it when I get to it. Right now, I'm enjoy life. I'm young, thinking that in order to enjoy life, I must continue to finance things. It just makes absolutely no It just is so stupid. Here I am, a computer engineer, cloud engineer, college degree, making 6 figures, and I'm broke. I let the conditioned mindset in the debt matrix believe that 6 figures was a lot of money. My last job, I was making $160,000 a year. I thought that was money. It's not money. It's not, especially when you're in debt. A person's title doesn't matter. People equate money to people's job titles. That means absolutely nothing. Here, I'm this smart computer engineer dude with a nice car and high-rise building, and I'm broke. Barely had anything in savings. Just out there pretending. I guarantee you the majority of people in the debt matrix that follow people that believe have money, they're just being fooled, man. They don't even know. Just going by people's stuff. Millennials lead the way. Hello, good morning. I didn't see you there. You want to be rich? You want to be wealthy? Because wealthy, let me explain this to you now that I'm outside the debt matrix so you can get what I'm saying. Rich and wealthy are not the same thing. It's not. Rich means you have a lot of money. Wealth means you own the time in your life. And if you own the time in your life, you have all the time in the world to make as much money as you wish. What is the first step to becoming wealthy? Get out of debt. Do not listen to people in the debt matrix. Do not listen to people that try to tell you that some other vehicle, some other way is going to bring you to becoming rich. That's not true. Math says it to not be true. Now, I'm glad I'm still young enough to become a multimillionaire. I'm 50. Okay. I'm still young enough to become a multimillionaire. I can't even imagine if I had woke up at 60 or 70. I'd have been crying, you guys. I ain't gonna front with you. I would have been crying. This is why I make these videos, seeing old people still paying on student loan debt. Can you imagine that? Imagine being in your 60s, 70s, hell, even 80s, living on retirement benefits, still having to pay student loans. Oh yes, they will take that student loan money out of your retirement benefits. You better believe that. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. You do not want to be that person. You can stop that right now by ignoring society. You want to be free? You want to live like unlike the majority of the United States? Get out of debt. You do whatever it takes to get out of debt. Now, if you come see me, I can help you skip a whole bunch of hurdles. I can lay your plan out. I'll lay your plan right out. I say you just follow these steps and you'll be free, just like that. Now, I notice the natural reaction will be, this is the natural reaction from people, because a lot of people that come see me, they have no idea how much debt they're even in, right? And once I add it up, they'll hear it, they'll see that number, and the natural response is, "Oh my God, that'll take forever." You know what my response to them is? Is there any other choice? There is no other choice, especially if you have student loans, people. Especially if you have student loans. There is no other choice. If you have any type of financial advisor that tells you to invest before paying off your student loans, I suggest you stop seeing them immediately. That is wrong. Don't fall for the facade of something else is going to pay off your student loans, because it's not true. People in debt don't even get it. Even if a person it's mathematically impossible, but this is why. Let me give you guys another example. This is why it will not work. Okay, check it out. If you had a financial advisor that advised you to invest in some kind of stock market, 500 S&P 500, all these fancy stupid names, it's just so stupid, right? This is what I want you to do. Add up all your savings and then add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to invest in the S&P 500. The stock market. That's how much money you have to invest. Now, if an investor, a financial advisor tells you to invest, remember, you must go further into the negative to invest in whatever vehicle that they're telling you to invest in. Because you are in a negative, that means you have no money to invest. So you must literally borrow the money to invest, what's going to put you deeper into debt. Now, on the surface, they say things like this: "Oh man, you're don't pay off the student loan debt because the interest is low. It's only like 5 or 6%. Invest into the stock market where you're going to earn 10%, which is wrong. Nothing's guaranteed." And say like it's going to invest 10%. No, it's not. You cannot earn money. You cannot earn interest, anything on negative dollars. It's 100% impossible to invest negative dollars into the stock market, to invest in anything with negative dollars. That's impossible. But yet millions of people believe it to be true every single day. They don't see it. You know why they don't see it? Because they're conditioned not to see it. There are two economies, you guys. There's two. If you want to be rich, especially while you're young, if you want to be rich, understand this. There are two economies. There's one for people in debt, and there's one for people not in debt. It is clear as day when you get out of debt. It's clear. There's two. There. It is so funny when I think about it. It's clear as day. Clear as day. When it's obvious like this is why I pause sometimes, because sometimes I just think about it. Mm, mm, mm. And all these things I'm proving to you guys. It's like if I gave, say, like somebody had $50,000 worth of student loan debt, right? And I said, "Here, person, here's $50,000. Go pay off your student loan debt." Half the people in debt would never do that. They were like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go finance a new car. I'm gonna put a little bit on my student loan debt. I'm gonna put a down payment on the car." They would just go dig themselves deeper in debt. That's what they would do. Why? Because they've been conditioned to think like that. This is why it doesn't matter how much money you give a person in debt. They will remain in debt because that's the way they think. You give somebody in debt a lot of money, they just believe if they come into a lot of money, they just believe they can afford bigger monthly payments. That's why they're in debt. If you want to if you know somebody that you believe has money and you want to find out if they really have money without them knowing why you're asking, I'm giving you guys the questions to ask without them knowing why you're asking. You say things like you bring up the student loan debt crisis, bring up the auto loan crisis, just bring up all those things that are trillions of dollars in debt. And if they get emotionally involved in that question or that subject, they're in debt. Ask them, "Hey, do you happen to know your tax bracket?" If they don't know, they're in debt. Ask them if they're a homeowner. If they say yes, you ask them, "Do you have a mortgage?" If they say yes, they're in debt. No mortgage in the world makes anyone a homeowner, yet they believe they are. They're in debt. They're in the debt matrix. Only people in the debt matrix believe that. Now you guys can ask me questions during this. I'm just sharing with you guys my thoughts of how it is to be financially free and what you'll see. It seems like I look at this as a gift. It is a total 100% gift. Am I a millionaire? Am I a billionaire? No, not even close. Not yet. I will be. It's clear. It's just, sometimes I'll go through a phase like Now that I can see how easy it is to get there, and now that I'm 50, knowing that I could have did it in my 20s, yeah, it bothers me sometimes. It does. It gets to me sometimes because the conditioned mindset is strong. I didn't see it. Uh, I remember sprinkles throughout my life. I remember sprinkles of people telling me things like, if you can't pay cash for it, everybody's heard this saying, if you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it, right? I remember hearing that all the time, but I would just ignore it and I would think, yes, I can. I have credit. Those are the people that are telling you something. Those are the people that you should listen to. If you have anybody in your life right now that has been telling you, if you can't afford to pay cash for it, you don't buy it. Those are the people you listen to. My grandfather was one of them. Man. And on the relationship aspect of it, I'm telling you, you will know how to pick the right partner to have a child with, to longevity. Because people always say things like this. What's the number one reason for divorce? And they say money. No, it's not. It's not money. It's debt. All my past serious relationships, I never once asked about their financial situation. Never once. That never came up ever. As long as they had a job and a nice place and a nice car, I thought they were doing financially well. That is so not true. That is not true at all. And then you start throwing kids and babies in the mix. Oh my God. And then just this is how it happens, okay? You get with somebody and you're just basing it on the looks or the sex is good or whatever, right? Stupid, idiotic stuff, right? And then you don't even talk about finances. Then they get involved, and then they're deep in debt. And then you add new cars, and you add a house, and then you add children. And then what that means is that you got to work a lot of overtime. Then you never see each other. You're always at work. And then the person, since they're at work so much, and then all of a sudden you see another person that's just like you because they're at work just as much because they're working overtime. People in debt have no idea why they connect, right? I didn't know that, right? And then all of a sudden they start connecting with another person at work, thinking they relate to them, not understanding that you relate to each other because you're in debt. It's the same problem that the majority of people in debt have, right? And then all of a sudden they start connecting with another person. Then they start fooling around with the other person. Well, we don't see each other. You work too much. It's just an endless cycle, not even realizing it's all because of debt, not money. Good morning, Elijah. It's not money, it's debt. I've never once in my life had I been with a woman that said, I'm leaving you, Linnell, because you have too much money. You keep refilling my bank with money, and I'm so mad about it. Every time I empty my account, you keep filling it up. I'm gonna divorce you if you keep doing that. I've never once heard that happen. I never heard that's never happened in my never has happened in my life ever. There is no way. I have three boys. Had I known what I know today, I would have never had children by these women. Not saying that they're bad or good, but the majority, they were in debt just like me. I'm just saying if I had not been in debt and got with them and I found out they were in debt, I would have never had a child. You think I'm gonna have a child with a person that's in debt and doesn't care about being in debt? No, that would never happen. I would never take a person serious. I would never take a person serious. I would have a bunch of girls that are friends. I wouldn't even check it out. I wouldn't even had sex with them. I wouldn't even want any confusion unless I was just straight up honest. Hey, you know what? Check it out. We can enjoy each other's company. If sex is involved, cool. All right, cool. But remember, I would be just this clear. Remember, this is not going to be serious ever. Now, if you choose to move forward from this point on, great, cool. But I don't want you coming down the line 2 years later saying, "Hey, we've been kicking it for 2 years. We should take it to the next level." No, the answer is no. Why not, Linnell? You're in debt. I keep telling you, money's not everything. And people like to say, "Oh, money's not everything." And then I would turn to them and say, "Why are you talking about money? I'm talking about debt. If you're in debt, you have no money. So what are you talking about?" Or you're an a-hole, Linnell. Hey, you call me what you want. I'm just not in debt. And Elijah, you're right. Honesty is the best policy. It sure is. Jaws 2003 says, "Well, for me, the people that said that hardly told you the plan to get enough cash to do these things. Couple that with trying to impress others. It's easy to get caught up. I'm changing this mindset." Yeah. Hey, Jaws, you're right. You don't, I'm not, when I say this, of course, this is hindsight. Okay. I didn't, hearing that, you, it's like you have to be receptive. Like when I tell people about debt, like this is my channel, so I can be open and honest about what I talk to you guys about debt. There is no, "Oh, I don't want to hear this, Linnell." When I'm out and about and family members and they're telling me what they're doing, I say absolutely nothing. I don't tell them, like I have a family members that bought brand new cars. You think I say, "Hey man, you shouldn't finance cars"? No, I don't say anything. That's their business. Now, if they come to me and say, "Hey, Linnell, should I finance this car?" Oh, I'll tell them then. But because you got to remember, it's a double-edged sword. In order for me to remain rich and free, the majority must remain in debt. They must continue to finance cars and clothes and shoes and all that other stuff. They need to do that. Because if people in debt have children, guess what they got to do? This is generational. They're going to use credit cards, finance a bunch of stuff. Because when you have, like, for example, you get with somebody, two people in debt, they have a child. They're going deeper in debt because they must take care of that child. So they're going to go deeper in debt, and then they're going to start to justify whatever it takes to provide for that child. They're going to justify it. It's okay because this is what you do. This is what you do. You go deeper in debt. You'll do whatever it takes to take care of your child. And if going in debt is what it takes, that's what it does. Okay, cool. I raised 3 boys while I was in debt. Had I not been in debt, I would have had more time to do things with them. I wouldn't have had to work any overtime. I could have been at every single game. I could have did more vacations. I could have did everything. Being financially free, money. I would have never brought home work, because what people don't understand that live in the debt matrix, when you bring home work, that means you're working for free, slave. Because if you got hired at a job, and at the table as you're signing the papers, if they would have turned to you and said, "Hey, yeah, by the way, you're going to be bringing work, you're going to be bringing work home, and you're going to do it for free," you wouldn't have took that job. You would have been like, "What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you take this job, you're going to be bringing work home, and you're going to do it for free, because any work you bring home, you're doing it for free, slave." Absolutely free. And if you're taking work home and you're doing it for free, guess what? That's time being taken away from your family, your children. Now, people in debt, they just justify it. "What am I going to do? I don't have a choice. I have to do it." Yes, you do, slave. You can stop being a slave. Because I promise you this, you guys, those of you that follow me, and there's millions of people doing it. If this is you, that's okay. It's okay. Just go to the mirror and say, "Yep, LJ's talking about me. You're a slave." Go to the mirror and say, "I'm a slave." And understand this: each minute you bring work home, I don't care if it's a text message, email, phone call, whatever, that's one less minute away from your child. That's one less minute away from your spouse. and you're doing it for free. I did that for years, man. Elijah says, my last relationship ended because the person I was dating had no financial drive or ambition, trying to tell me what to do with my money. Haha, crazy people. Exactly. People in debt love to tell other people how to do what to do with their money. That blows my mind. But yet, what most don't understand, it happens every day on the internet. I see it on Facebook all the time. I see it on Facebook all the time. People with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of student loans giving financial advice on Facebook. Are you insane? All they do is dress up in some kind of nice outfit or suit, put some glasses on, you know, get the mic, get on some kind of financial channel, and all of a sudden people just believe them. It is the funniest, craziest. It's like when now that I'm out of debt, I'll see some young people on Facebook or Instagram. I can see them going in the right direction, but I can clearly see they're in debt. I can hear them when they speak. And then that's the first question I ask them. Hey, you got some student loans? Yeah. How long have you had them? Years. That doesn't make any sense. CNTS. Why you have student loans? Oh man, you know, I'm gonna invest in the stock market and then I'm gonna have them pay it off. That's mathematically that's impossible. Why are you doing that? And then next thing you know, I lose communication with them. They don't want to talk to me anymore. I'd be like, why aren't I don't say anything. I know exactly why they left because they don't want to hear it. People in debt, they don't want to hear the true answer. They don't want to hear the answer. I've had I've had I've actually had people reach out to me and and it was just my fault. I wasn't clear with it. And it's really not their fault. I'm not going to blame the person that was upset with me. They were like, oh, El, I thought you were going to lay out weekly payments for me and this and no, I teach you how to get out of, I give you a plan how to pay off your debt. Oh, I thought you were going to do this and that. I'd be like, no, do you want your money back? I can give you your money back. It's not a big deal. You don't like my service? Okay. I'll give you your money back and I give you your money back. I don't want people coming to me and being upset that they thought I was going to be like everybody else in the financial world. I'm not like them. No. Even people listen, how many videos I make, they still don't understand what I can do for them. What do I do for you? I help you pay off your debt. Oh, half the people don't even want to hear that. Pay off your debt. Yeah. That's the only way out of debt is pay it off. Elijah said, faking the financial funk sure is. And Elijah, there's millions of people that do it. Millions, man. When I look at people, they're dressed nice. They look the part. They sound the part. They know a couple of financial words, big fancy words. Couple things about the stocks, but they're missing the major piece of the puzzle. They're in debt. They're trying to check it out. The majority of people that they getting financial advice from, they're giving financial advice from a debt perspective. They're in debt trying to tell you how to build wealth, and they're in debt themselves. People have no idea they're just the type of advice that they're getting. It's horrible. It's sad. That's my chimes in the background if you guys can hear them. Those help me think. Hope it's not bothering you guys. It's easy to become a multimillionaire. Easy. It's like now when I look at people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, right? They're showing people right in your face. Here are those two people alone. They are making so much money that the average worker would never make in 20 lifetimes. And they're showing you, one person is showing you what they can achieve. They're not special. They don't know anything different than you. They just trust mathematics, and the majority of people in debt do not. That's it. That's the difference between the rich and the not rich. That's the only difference. NC Briggs says, LJ, you got people thinking I'm crazy. I'm crazy right now because of your advice last week. People giving advice is crazy. NC Briggs, I go to different financial channels, right? And realize that you speak debt free, and then you just go and listen to them. Just listen to them. You know they're faking it. You know they're lying. Well, let me not even say lying. I don't want to. I don't even want to say lying. I want to say they don't know. And then you got to ask yourself, how come these professional people that you hear, that you listen to, that has millions of followers, don't know basic math? You got to ask yourself, why is that? That's how powerful this is that I teach you guys. It's so powerfully simple. It's not complicated at all. I don't need a fancy degree. I don't need some financial series 6 and all this other stuff. I'm not knocking people who get it, but I'm saying it's not needed. I don't need any of that. I will never need to upgrade my skills throughout the years as I get older. Math will never change, ever. Hey, Linnell, where did you go to college for finances? Nowhere. What's up, Dark Man? What's going on? Jaws 2003 says, what I've noticed as well is that some older folks talk about having low or no debt in your senior years, but tell younger people to have debt because you young and in your working years. That makes absolutely no sense. If a senior person if a senior person if I hear a senior person tell a younger person that, the first thing I'm thinking is that senior person's in debt, because that's the wrong advice to give. If you get out of debt in your younger years, you will become a millionaire so fast. So fast. So fast. Think about it this way, okay? When you're young, you don't really realize this, but you sign up for a job that gets you into the retirement plan at the job. Now, if you're in debt, add up all your savings. If this is you right now, I want you to picture something, all right? Follow me. Follow me mathematically. Add up all your savings. Add up all your debt. Yes, including your student loans. Yes, including your collection. Yes, including your parking tickets. Yes, including the money that you don't feel that you owe. All of that. All of it counts, right? Then I want you to go savings minus debt equals how much money you have to contribute towards your retirement. Now, that number is going to be a large negative number. And I want you to ask yourself, how in the hell am I contributing to my retirement with negative dollars? Once you solve that equation, you'll be rich. I'm going to say it one more time. That's going to be a large negative number. You're contributing towards your retirement from that large negative number. Now think to yourself, how can I do that? You can't. It's impossible. So why do you think you are? Solve that equation and you'll be rich. Darkman Jeff says, Linnell always speaks like he's living a peaceful life 24/7, all happy and stuff. Conversely, there are folks in my area with McMansions that are stressed out and drinking every day. It's true, Darkman. I'm glad you noticed that, Darkman, because it's true. I'm not faking this. I have no stresses, none. And definitely money's not one of them, for sure. Now, when I don't even want to call them stresses. There's just things I got to take care of. That's it. It's not a stress. It's not I wake up when I want. It's not, I can't explain it to you guys, but the best way I can explain it to you is this. Dark man, you came in kind of late, so I'm going to tell you a way. So this is the way I'm going to give you guys an idea of my life. Now, if you're sitting in traffic, imagine somebody coming along and removing all the cars out of off the freeway that have car payments, all the people that are making car payments. Do you think there would be any traffic? There wouldn't even be any traffic. You will never have to worry about the carpool lane, the express lane, paying tolls. You would never. Imagine removing all the people with mortgages. How many houses do you think it would be available if you removed all the people with mortgages? You could buy a house anywhere. That's what it's like to be financially free. That's how many people are in your way to becoming a millionaire. Again, imagine being on the freeway. Imagine the freeway was, okay, this is better. This is better. Imagine the freeway being your path to becoming a millionaire. Okay. Right now, you can't see it because there's so many cars on the freeway. Now, remove everybody's car that's making payments. How fast could you become a millionaire? How easy could you see it? It would be crystal clear. You would get there so fast. That's what it's like. That is true. That's what it's exactly like. Elijah says, enjoying a great morning. Listen to how to keep life stress free early and consistently, constantly. Elijah, this is what life is like. The only thing that's on my mind right now, every morning, is how to create this successful channel, to create a successful business, helping millions of people become millionaires, especially young people. I will change your life. You will go to work. You'll never work at a job you don't want to work at anymore. That'll never happen. You will never, people hate their jobs. I mean, you hear people every day on Facebook telling you how much they hate their jobs. If you didn't have people that are financially free, don't work at jobs they hate. They wouldn't do that because they don't have to be there. People that hate their jobs, they're saying, I'm in debt. I have no choice but to work here. And the job knows it. That's why they treat you as such. That's why people bring home work and work for free. I hear people on Facebook saying it every day. Hey, this is my day off, but I'm doing some work. Then that's not really a day off. Do you even hear yourself? No, they don't. They don't. My last year at my job, I was debt free. My whole life changed. I noticed that my job was calling me at odd hours, when I wasn't on call, sending out emails. Hey, did you respond to that email? I'm off. Why would I even be looking at me email? But that last year I didn't do any of that. I was like, no, I didn't. Was I supposed to look at that? Thank you, Elijah, for the analogy. It just came to me right now. That is just I love trying to illustrate to you guys what it's like to be financially free. How easy it is to become a millionaire. Because I remember being in traffic daily to go to, just think about it. I remember being in traffic daily to go to a place that I didn't even want to go to. And that time in traffic, I'm doing that for free. Nobody's paying me to do that. I'm in traffic for free. And not really for free because it cost me gas to get there. Maybe the carpool lane, maybe there's some tolls along the way. Even that's not free. And then I go to a place that I really don't even want to be at for 8 hours. And then I do it. And then I do it again at the end of work. Start up my car, which costs gas, insurance, all that stuff. God, when I think about it right now, as I'm telling you guys the story, ooh, it just burns me up that I didn't see that. I literally thought I didn't have a choice. I literally thought that. What am I going to do? I talk about traffic every day with friends. Ooh, yeah, traffic is bad. Ooh, it was raining. You hear about that accident on so-and-so? Oh, wow. It's oh my God. As I'm telling you guys this story, that was daily talk. Oh, Linnell. Oh, Linnell, you didn't see that. Oh my God. And then I brought home work, answering emails, phone calls. I really thought I was getting over on it when my job was paying for my cell phone bill. I thought I was winning. No, you wasn't winning, Linnell. I was just giving permission for my job to call me anytime they wish. It was business. Mm, mm, mm. Boy. NC Briggs says, well, I trust your process. They think I'm crazy. Listen. Oh, NC Briggs, you're crazy, right? You're another crazy person. Imagine if they think you're crazy. I got a channel. Can you imagine how many people think I'm crazy? One one told me to borrow money to consolidate my debt instead because they worried about my credit. That's debt talk. It doesn't even make any sense. NC Briggs, they have no idea what they're even saying. They're speaking debt. They're speaking debt. And hey, NC Briggs, and when they call you crazy, right? This is the only thing I want you to respond with. This is the only thing. But is my math right? Is when you go to LJ and you hear him, is his math correct? They have to say yes. And then when they say yes, then you say, then why am I crazy? Why do you call me crazy if my math is correct? Who is crazy, you or me? People, when I hear a person call me crazy, I just know they're in debt. Because I think to myself, you're the crazy one. You don't believe in mathematics. You don't believe 1 + 1 = 2. So who's crazy? Leroy Diaz says, hey, LJ and the SMD family, Happy New Year to everyone. I'm working and listening to the message. It's powerful, and I work at my job because I want to, not that I have to. Exactly. And Leroy, check it out. Employers don't even realize how valuable, well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm not going to say they don't know, but of how valuable an employee is that works at their company that wants to be there. That wants to be there. Because when you're not in debt, this is how an interview goes, okay? This is how an interview goes. You go to apply for a job. You're not there crossing your fingers to hoping to get the job. You're determining if you want to work there. First of all, if you got skills and you got skills and you're good at what your job, right off the bat, you already know you're good. So don't even worry about that part. You go for the interview. You're determining if you want to work there. All right. You're determining if you want to work there, right? And then when you get there, you go, hey, what's the pay scale here? And they're going to tell you the pay range and all this other stuff. You say, okay, cool. I want to start at the top. Oh, you got to work your way up there. Oh, no, I'm not doing any of that. No, this is what I can deliver. This is what I'll do for you. And I want to start here. It's going to be a very odd, uncomfortable situation because you better believe the person interviewing you, they can tell if you need the job or you just simply want the job. They can tell. It's totally different. Yeah, this is where This is where I'm starting. And then you ask questions like this. Are you guys expecting for me to bring work home or work after hours? What are you expecting? Because I want to make sure that's clear that I'm not going to do that unless you're going to double my pay. If you expect me to answer emails, phone calls after hours, I want my pay doubled. You make sure it's clear that there's no misunderstandings, and I guarantee you the right business will see you speaking like that, and you will be put in a position that doesn't exist for the normal people in debt. Those type of positions in companies, They don't even know they exist. I guarantee you this. They don't even exist. I can't prove it to you. I can't. But if there's a multi-billion-dollar business, you better believe there are people in high positions that have a mindset like I do when it comes to money. It's a whole different mindset. It's like when you get 2 weeks vacation. Never once did I take my 2 week vacation together. I never did that. I broke it up in days and all that stupid nonsense. My 2 week vacation, if I ever had to have a regular job again, when my 2 weeks vacation come up, you better believe I'm taking the whole 2 weeks on the day that I want. Nobody's going to tell me here I am earning my 2 weeks for the year, and all of a sudden now I got to get permission to take my vacation on the days they want allow me to. Ain't doing none of that. No, sir, that's not happening. And I'm gonna tell you guys that may or may not have ever experienced this. Let me tell you guys this: the 40-hour work week is a made-up concept by the wealthy. 40 hours overtime. No, never once did I question who came up with 40 hours a week. Who came up with Saturday and Sunday are the weekends that you're supposed to be off. I never questioned that. I just thought, okay, everybody does it. I was born. Everybody in my family does it. This is just the way it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. It took me a year of not having a traditional job to break that habit. It took me a year. When I first quit my job back in 2016, I went through some withdrawals, just like a meth addict coming off of meth, cocaine or something. I went through withdrawals. I was a month out. I thought the world was leaving me behind. I was losing my skills. I didn't. Oh my God! Then month two came by. I started filling out job applications again, even though I didn't have to. I didn't need to, but I was filling out job applications because I thought I needed to do it, right? And each time I filled out the job application, I would get this anxiety. Like, if I get this job, I have to get up early in the morning. I have to deal with traffic. I have to deal with somebody telling me what to do. I had to take a lunch and I had to be back at a certain time to be back at work. And then I had to start it all over again every single day. And then month three went by, got a little easier. Month four, and then five, I started relaxing. 6, 7, and about a year, I was like, "Holy crap! This is the world. This is how life is supposed to be. This is how life is supposed to be. Stress free, not thinking about bills, debt, interest, payments, and all this other stupid nonsense. When you have no debt, check it out. When you have no debt, this is what people in debt don't realize. You have no due dates to keep track of. There's no due dates. When you go to your mailbox, it's not filled with bills and debt. It's just when I go to my mailbox, you guys, it's either junk mail or something I ordered. That's it. So I might check it once, twice a week because it doesn't matter because nothing in there is going to be late ever. I use not automatic bill pay. I use electronic bill pay on my through my bank. It's free, right? So when I get, say like I get my electric bill, I look at it, look at the due date, see the amount, and then I enter that amount inside of my electronic bill pay, put it in, and shred the bill, and don't think about it again. That's it, because it's going to be paid on time, well before the due date. And you know what's so crazy? Let me tell you guys this. This is the crazy part about it. These businesses are slick. When I get my electric bill, check it out. There'll be two amounts. One amount that is the normal amount, and then they give you another amount if it's paid after the due date. Now, if you're not paying attention, Imagine how many people are paying their electric bill thinking that the after the due date amount is the right amount. Can you imagine how many people are doing that? At first, when I would look at that, I was like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? I mean, it's a legitimate thing that they're doing. Don't get me wrong. But if you're not paying attention, guess what you're going to pay? You're going to keep paying a larger amount. That's just business. It's just business. Jaws 2003 says, damn, I have that attitude now. I asked this woman about a higher salary for a job she offered me because of my education and background. She rescinded that job offer. So what? See ya. She did you a favor. Rescinded the offer. Ain't that crazy? Because you demand what you're worth, whatever. But this is Jaws 2003. This is what it's like to live in the financially free world. There are more people in debt that will accept less than what they're worth because they're in debt. It's a double-edged sword. So you must create your own. You must. The majority must remain in debt. Jobs, companies, they know they have the pick of the litter because people are in debt. They need the money. They need it. They will take what they can get, crossing their fingers, even though they know in their mind they're worth more than what they're offering. They got to accept it because why? They're in debt. Check this out, you guys. I went day before yesterday. I took my woman back to return something at a girl clothing store, a woman clothing store, right? And so, you know, guys usually congregate in a place they can sit down as their woman shopping, right? So I'm sitting down with these couple of 21-year-olds, okay? 21, 22. One of them, we started getting on the subject of debt, and one of them could hear me. The other one could care less. He was just young. He's like, oh yeah, whatever. And I'm not hating on him, but you can clearly see that he just wasn't interested. But one was listening. I said, I'm gonna give you a couple of examples so you can understand what I'm saying. He was like, okay, I'm all ears. I said, did you know every time I said, you got a car right now? He says, yeah, I'm making payments. I got it at an awesome interest rate, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I said, I'm gonna tell you in a different way so you can understand what I'm saying. You financed the car because you didn't have the money for the car. He was like, well, yeah. I said, did you know when you finance a car, you're financing the taxes too? And it just makes them pause. It makes everybody pause, but especially a youngster. When they hear that, they're like, nobody's ever told me that way. I said, I know. I said, if you don't have the money for the car, right? Right. You definitely don't have the money for the taxes. So you're getting taxed twice. The tax you can see and the tax you cannot see because you're financing the taxes too. It just blew him away. Blew him away. He was like, oh my God, nobody's ever told me like that. I said, I know. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. You're young enough to you if you listen to what I'm saying right now, you'll be a millionaire easy before you're 30. Easy. And when you own your car, guess what? You don't have to have full coverage insurance. You can max out, take your deductible up from 500 to 1,000, all that, because you have the money in the bank. So if you ever get hit or somebody hits you, you will have the $1,000 in the bank account. Don't even worry about it. Trust your driving record. When's the last time you got in an accident? Never. Trust your driving record. Elijah Jones says, true, I've worked with people at jobs close to 20 years, working lots over time because they need the money and are in debt. Yeah. When people say things like this, check it out. I've been at my job for 20 years. I've been at my job for 30 years. And people say it proudly. And that, again, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I couldn't even imagine myself going in and out of the same doors for 30 years. No, sir. No, sir. I ain't doing none of that. 20 years, 30 years at the same job, dealing with the same traffic. Looking forward to a 1 week vacation out of the whole year. Having weekends off, trying to fit in what I needed to do all week in 2 days. And then if I'm filling in what I needed to do in those 2 days, that means I really don't have 2 days off. It's just the craziest, man. As I'm telling you guys this, I'm just thinking back. I'm like, oh my God, how in the hell did I not see that? I was blinded by that. Completely blinded by debt. I will no longer accept any type of financial advice from anyone unless I can see their personal credit report first. Anybody. I don't care what they have. I don't care how much they've traveled. I don't care what kind of clothes they wear. I don't care what kind of car they drive. I don't care what kind of job they have. Unless I can see their personal credit report first, I don't care about any of that nonsense. And if you're in your 20s and 30s and you are listening to me, listen to the math. If you trust math, you'll be rich. Once you get out of debt, you will clearly see there are two economies. One is controlled by the rich and one is not. It's crazy. I was reading about FHA mortgages, it's to stimulate the economy, blah, blah, blah. What that really means once you get out of the debt matrix, it stimulates the economy by having people that cannot afford homes believe that they can. That's it. That's it. FHA mortgages, VA mortgages, all of those are considered subprime mortgages. Subprime mortgages are for people that cannot afford homes and they're made to believe that they can. That's it. Subprime mortgages are backed by some kind of entity that they collect fees on from the very people that it's crazy. I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can. FHA subprime mortgages are usually backed by an entity, which is usually the government. The government are people, okay? The people that they collect fees and taxes from, right? So if people with FHA mortgages default on them because the bank loans the money, the bank still loans the money, but if the person doesn't pay, the government steps in and pays the loan off for them. And who are the government? The very people that cannot afford the homes in the first place. It's just the craziest. When you're outside the debt matrix, it's clear. It's clear to see. As long as people believe they can get something without using any money of their own, okay, so be it. It's crazy. Jaws 2003 says, I've had people tell me to tear down a mobile home that only needed 10K in repairs. I've only put 5K in so far and it looks way different. Exactly. You better not listen to people in debt. And Jaws 2003, that's not forever. Okay. It's not forever. This is just temporary. Do work with what you have, get out of debt. And maybe you will. Maybe you want to tear down the mobile home and do something better. You'll do it with real money. But you better not listen to people in debt. They'll steer you wrong. They will steer you wrong every single time and not even know it. People all over the internet giving financial advice. Mm, mm, mm. And when you're in debt, you don't even know who to you don't really know who to listen to because you're deafened and blind by debt, and you don't even know it. I have friends and family that it's hard to watch. From the outside, it looks like they have money, but on the inside, when you're debt free, you can see that they clearly don't have money and they're just pretending. There's a lot of people. You guys don't realize there's a lot of people pretending to have money, and they just don't know any other way to live. So they have to pretend. They don't want the world to know that they're broke. But with people that live like that, they don't realize that people like me can see them clearly. People like me can clearly see broke people because it's the way they speak. It's the way they talk about money. It's the things they do with money. If somebody comes up to you and says they got a great deal on a finance car, they're in debt. Nobody gets a great deal on a finance car. Nobody. Nobody gets a finance car on sale. Nobody. The sale price, the sticker price that they see when they walk on the car lot and they finance the car does not apply to them. It doesn't apply to them. Math will clearly show that it doesn't, but people just don't believe math. Like I always tell you, like I always say, for example, the majority of people prepare themselves to be at a car lot all day to buy one car. 8 hours, be at a car lot for 8 hours to buy one car. They only do that to people who finance cars. If you had the cash, would you stay at a car lot all day to buy one car? No, you'd be in and out of there in 30 minutes. They only do that to people who finance cars and they accept it. Only slaves do that. Only slaves would waste 8 hours of the time in their life to buy one car. Only slaves do that. There's people walking around here in debt that don't even realize they're a slave. That's the best kind of slave to have. The slave that don't know they're a slave. Those are the best slaves to have. And check this out. This is going to be a hard one for you guys to swallow, but just listen closely, okay? Imagine now, between pay periods, some people get paid every week, some people get paid every 2 weeks. But listen to this. Add up your 2-week check. Now you minus the taxes that come right out of your check before you get it, right off the bat, 20, 30%, whatever that is, right? Now take all the finance charges that you're going to be paying on everything you finance right off the bat. Take that out of your money too. Take out all the taxes that you pay on when you buy some things, you go to the store, take all those taxes out of your money too. Okay. And then take away the money that you probably loan to friends. You don't think it's a big deal. A dollar here, dollar there. You give to a few dollars to the homeless, whatever, right? Take all that money. How much money you think you have left? Now add that money up that you just gave away, that taxes right off the bat, the money that you don't even have. Take all that money, right? Now divide that up and add up what your real hourly wage is. You're working for peanuts. Because I remember when I made $100,000 a year, let's just say it like that, right? That $100,000 would always stick in my head. Like, yeah, I make $100,000. No, I didn't. After I take all the taxes out, that the automatic taxes that are taken out of my check, and then the taxes that I pay on everyday living, and then I pay all the interest things that I finance, I made nothing. 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 Darkman Jeff says, what's a good interest rate to get for a mortgage? Good question, Darkman. Good question. 1 second. This is what you do, Darkman. You walk into the biggest bank in your city You walk into the bank and say, hey, I want the best top rate mortgage you have to offer in this bank. I want it. Whatever it is, I want it. They're going to say, oh, really, dark man? Okay. Here's their list of requirements you must meet to get that type of loan. They're going to hand you a list, dark man, and say, here you go. You look down on that list. And if you qualify everything on that list, you're ready for a mortgage. If you don't qualify, if there's something on there that you don't meet, you leave the bank and you don't come back until you do. That's how to get the best mortgage. That's it. See how easy that was? That was simple, isn't it? That's the only way you do it. You don't accept anything less. But, dark man, if you refuse to accept that you must meet those requirements on that list, they're going to push you to an FHA mortgage. They're going to push you to a subprime mortgage. Somebody that, for people that don't listen, because the businesses, the banks in the business of making money, not teaching people about money, but the majority, if they refuse to accept that this is the only way to get a mortgage, then they push you to an FHA mortgage. Say, oh, okay, you don't want to listen, slave? Okay, here you go. FHA mortgage. Now the person goes to the FHA mortgage. Oh, I don't have to put hardly anything down. No, you sure don't. I can have horrible credit. You sure can. Yeah, go over here. Get this. And then they fall for it, and then they do it. And then they get an FHA mortgage, and they walk away believing they're homeowner. The bank says, whatever you believe, hey, that's totally up to you. Whatever. You're not. No mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner, let alone an FHA mortgage. A FHA mortgage definitely doesn't make you a homeowner at all. Not even close. But yet people do it every single day. And you know what's crazy when I think about it, since we're on mortgages? VA mortgages are horrible. They're horrible. Here are people joining the military, giving their lives for service. And then they say, hey, check it out. This is a VA mortgage. You don't have to put any money down. You can finance the whole house. Oh my God. Are you serious? Why are you doing veterans bad like that? You're doing them horribly. VA mortgages are horrible. Don't believe me? This is what I want you to do. If you're listening to this later on and you're like, oh, I got a VA, it's good. This is all you got to do. Do a side-by-side comparison with your VA mortgage compared to the best top rate conventional mortgage on the market. And then you tell me if a VA mortgage is good. The numbers are not going to lie to you. Best Version Motivation says, LJ, Uber offers their drivers loans. Imagine working for free. Oh my God. Best Version. Check this out. Because I know you'll understand me. This is Uber delivery, food delivery places. This is the ultimate. Whoever came up with this is brilliant. Every big multi-billion-dollar company does it. Amazon, they all do it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you do it right, it can be successful, but the majority are doing it wrong. Okay. Now you become an Uber driver. You technically work for yourself. So they don't have to worry about, here's Uber, a big company. They have no employees and they own no cars, but they're multi-billion industry, right? These people work for themselves, 1099. The majority of them are in debt. Okay. They're in debt. So they have a 1099. If they don't know they're in debt and they're working a 1099, they don't really understand how they have to pay their own taxes, because they're going to get that money and they're going to spend it. Now you will add on a loan for a car on top of that. They are working slaves. Now you throw the same people in there delivering fast food, delivering meals and all this other stuff, working slaves. The companies are making millions and billions off of people that are earning nothing. I saw that Best Version. I saw that the Uber are offering car loan. Oh my God, they're just killing the game. And guess what? I guarantee you Uber does this. They probably take the money right out of their checks. Ooh. Ooh, can you imagine how many Uber drivers are out there with Uber car loans? They are killing the game. They're killing it. And I hear people all the time, "Oh man, I'm gonna do a couple drives real quick so I can earn some money so I can go out tonight, or make a couple dollars so I can go buy this outfit." Ooh, you believe they're pulling, and every fare you believe they're pulling 20% aside for taxes? No, they're not. They're spending every single penny, and then when taxes are due, guess what? They're shocked. They're like, "What? I owe how much? I didn't know that. Too bad for you." Everybody knows there's taxes to be paid. I mean, I want you guys to understand that this is conditioned mindset. Like, for example, when people go buy things, like say like there was something that they bought a shirt for 20 that was on sale for $20. It's $20 plus tax, but when somebody tells you what they paid for, they say, "Oh, I paid $20." No, you didn't. You paid $20 plus tax. Why are you leaving off the tax? Because they've been conditioned to think that way. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. Once you get out of debt and you get out and see the real economy, you will clearly understand how taxes work. You get out of debt, guess what? You can legally never pay taxes again, ever. That's why there is absolutely no reason to cheat on your taxes. That's why you can go to prison. This is why you can go to prison if you cheat on your taxes. That's called tax evasion. Instead of being scared of the tax man, instead of being scared of the IRS, understand why you can go to prison. Once you get out of debt matrix and see it, like when I look at it, I'm like, oh wow, that's why you can go to prison. Because there's absolutely no reason to cheat on your taxes. You get out of debt, you can clearly see how it works. You're like, oh, that's clear. Okay, got it. Darkman Jeff says that makes a lot of sense. I'm guessing that the only type of debt that you co-sign on, huh? Yes, it's a mortgage. Yeah, because I'm still real. I'm still real about it. A lot of people can't afford to buy a house in cash, but I promise you, you get out of debt, you will know exactly how to buy one. It all counts on your age. Now, if I was 20, uh, I probably wouldn't get a mortgage. I would just buy a tax. I would never buy a house at full value. I'll just go buy a tax lien or a tax lien home or foreclosure. There's plenty of foreclosures. You just can't see them. You just got to be looking for them. When you have money, you will look for the foreclosures. If you don't have money, you just believe the only way you're going to get is a mortgage. That's what you believe, but that's not true. Once you're out of debt, you don't have to pay full price for anything. Housing market prices, housing market value on the market will never apply to you when you buy, ever. That only applies to those whom are in debt. When you sell, that's when it'll apply. You'll sell it high. But as long as there are millions of people with FHA mortgages, as long as there are millions of people that believe they're homeowners while having mortgages, you will never have to pay full value for a house ever. Jaws 2003 says I did DoorDash, which is a 1099 job. Yep, and it paid peanuts compared to the effort I put in. I know. I used the Stride tax app, and they told me how much to take out, but I never made over $600 in 4 months. Yep. Now, don't get me wrong, Jaws. There's a way to make a lot of money doing that, okay? But actually doing the delivering, you're not going to do it. You're putting in a lot of time. If you equate, I don't know why I couldn't get that word out. If you equate your time versus the money, you're not making any money. Good luck. It's just quick money. And you better believe, let me tell you something. If you're doing a DoorDash or Uber, anything that's 1099 and you're in debt and you're doing it to make quick money, you're in debt. because you're not pulling out the taxes. You don't even know anything about taxes. So you're not pulling it out. And guess what's going to happen? This is how it works. You're not going to do it. And then when it's time, when they come knocking on your door, they let you check it out. I guarantee you this. Okay. They probably let people with 1099 that don't understand taxes, let them bury themselves for about 3 years of not paying taxes, because the more people get away with not paying taxes, they think they're getting away with it. So they get more and more comfortable each year. Oh man, the IRS didn't say anything. That's because they're letting you dig yourself deeper and deeper in the hole. And then one day when they come knocking on your door, you're going to owe that money. And then they already know you're not going to have it. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to assign fines and penalties for you not knowing. And then you're going to be owing the IRS for years. And then you're going to be a slave. Now imagine having that, owing the IRS money, having student loans, having credit cards, having mortgages. Can you imagine? You are a slave. I will never be a slave, ever. Hyvie says, yep, I've seen ads offering to lease hybrid vehicles for those that drive Uber. If you finance an electric car, do you really believe you're saving money on gas? You're not. People that finance Teslas, all these electric cars, they really believe they're saving money on gas. No, they're not. They're not saving money on gas. If you finance a car, you're not saving money. Darkman's Jeff said, tax liens and foreclosures, that's a definite finesse. That makes a lot of sense. Exactly. Because Darkman, the majority of people have mortgages. And if they believe they are homeowners while having a mortgage over 30 years, the banks have it. The banks have people believing they are homeowners over a 30-year time span. And that's only if you never refinance your house once, ever. The bank can't lose. They cannot lose. It's a double-edged sword. Thank you, Hyphy. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. You guys want to win? Get out of debt. You want to win? Come see me. I can help you skip a whole lot of hurdles. I can help you bypass a lot of stuff that I had to learn on my own, because there are not many people who are financially free. At all. Darkman Jeff says, currently doing DoorDash. Best believe I have my 20% tucked. It's sad that folks forget that you got to give Uncle Sam his cut. Yeah, you do. And you know what, Darkman? Let me tell you something. And I'm glad you brought that up. You see how, and I believe the wealthy have done this, okay? They created a fictional character named Uncle Sam, like he's a person, okay? Like somebody that people can look at, right? And say, it's his fault. There is no Uncle Sam. There is no person. There is no entity. We are the government. In order for this to work, everybody must participate. Once you get out of debt and you start working for yourself, you can legally never pay taxes again. Legally. It's called tax avoidance. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is legal. All you got to do is do the opposite. You want to be rich? Do everything the opposite of the majority, and you will be rich financially. You do everything the opposite. Fasting for Life says, that's why I always buy with my debit card. Fasting, I don't buy anything with my debit card, honestly. And this is why I have one credit card. Okay. And this is why I don't use my debit card anymore. I remember I used to do, when I first got out of debt, that's the only thing I use is my debit card. I said, I'm never using a credit card again, right? But then one time my debit card got hacked. And then, you know, we've been told that debit card, as long as it has the Visa MasterCard logo on it, it has the same guarantees. It does and doesn't. When my debit card got hacked, you know how much of a hassle it was to get that money back into my account. First of all, the money is taken immediately out of your account, okay? And then you got to report it, and then you got to file a police report, and then it takes a few days for that money to get back into your account. I think it's all a setup, because if they take your money, if you get hacked at the wrong time, all that stuff is going to start bouncing out of your check, your bank account. It's just a hassle, right? And then, even though they know it wasn't you, it's still it takes time. All that stuff starts bouncing, and then you got to take care of all that, and it just was a hassle. With my credit card, it got hacked. I said it wasn't me. They credited me, closed my account, sent me a new credit card. That was it. I got that done. It was done in like 5-10 minutes. Done. With my credit card, I no longer have to worry about where I shop, what websites I go to. The only thing I use my debit card is at Costco and get money out. That's it. My credit card offers me protection. Now I don't have to worry about where I shop, worry about the security. Have you ever noticed, like, for example, let me give you guys an example so you can understand. Have you ever gone to a store and some stores use the chip reader and some do the slide? How is it going to be secure if every store doesn't participate in the chip, in the credit card chip, right? It doesn't make any sense. Exactly. That's why, okay, whatever. I use my credit card. It gets hacked, whatever. Fasting is Life says they charge you $1 extra whenever you use a credit card to buy gas. I don't go to those type of gas stations that do that. I'm not paying $1 to you. I'm not paying $1 at a place to spend money at a business. I'm not paying you to spend money at your place. So I just go to a different gas station. I go to Costco. They don't charge me $1. If you use your credit card, we're going to charge you 25 cents, or I just don't buy there. Okay, thank you for telling me. I'm not buying anything here. And I just leave. Not doing any of that stupid nonsense. Nonstop Dre says, it's kind of sad realizing how many people live lives based off of lies. Yeah. Long as they're not fooling you, Dre, that's all that matters. It's a necessary evil. Those guys out there making money off of lies, whatever. That's not longevity. Their time is limited. People out there scamming other people, their business time is limited. You're not going to be successful cheating people. You're not. I don't cheat people. I don't waste people's time. I don't do any of that. That's short-lived money. You will be out of business really quick. Somebody's going to come along, discover that you're cheating them, and then you're going to be finished. Yeah, cash is best still. I agree. But I rarely carry cash. I do. And since I don't, I be pulling stuff in and out of my pockets, right? And I just don't. Sometimes I got to be nervous about if I'm accidentally flipping money out of my pocket. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just a hassle. Fasting is Life says, Nonstop Dre 360, the whole system is based on lies. This has never existed before and never will. Fasting for life, it's not. Fasting is life. It's not based on lies. It's not. Even when you say that, you got to take that out of your mind. It's not. It's only mathematics. Nobody can financially fool you if you just believe in math. Just do the math. Each time somebody comes at you and tries to tell you some financial something or the other, all you got to do is run the math. If the math doesn't make sense, they're lying. Maybe they know they're lying. Maybe they don't. The majority of people in debt don't know they're in debt. They don't know they are. So they're not lying. They're not technically lying. Nonstop Dre says, would you recommend only using cash since you don't use debit cards? No, I use only a credit card. I barely use cash. I have one single credit card that I use everywhere. I pay it in full every single month. Once you're out of debt, let me tell you something, nonstop. Once you're out of debt, you don't accidentally, even if you have a credit card, you don't accidentally overspend on your credit card. That never happens with me. I never do that because I know I have to pay it in full at the end of the month. So I never overspend. I don't ever pull out my credit card and say, "Oh, I got $20,000. I can just go crazy." No, that's not my money. I don't care what kind of limit I have on my credit card. It's not my money. Jaws 2003 says, "LJ, what types of credit cards do you recommend besides no annual fees? Do you like the ones that give you cash back or points?" I don't even know what my credit card offers. Honestly, I don't even think about that. I don't care about cash back. I don't care about points. I just don't. I don't pay attention to that. My main focus right now, Jaws, is my business. That's my main focus. 1 second, you guys. Oh, I forgot about my power here. My power on my laptop because I'm sitting in a different spot here. 1 second. Now it's all wrapped up. Okay. I don't really think about points and cash back, and especially when you hear people in debt, they talk about the cash back. People that talk about cash back credit cards and they're in debt, they're not getting cash back from nothing. They're not getting cash back. These are things that the credit card companies make people believe that they're winning, especially people that get points on credit cards and they're paying annual fees. They act like them points are for free. Nothing's for free. This is business. Now, I'm not saying if you're financially free and you got a card that you're really getting points back and you actually use that and you travel a lot and you're getting benefits and you're paying it off every single month, great, you're getting ahead. But if the majority were like that, the credit card companies would not be winning. They are winning. They are killing the game. They're killing the game. Killing it. Dark Man Jeff says the FBI is cracking down on the scamming nonsense and they are handing folks them football numbers. Yeah, I guess. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Who knows? Who knows? But when people are in debt, I guarantee you this, Dark Man. People that work for the IRS, they're in debt. People that work for the FBI, they're in debt. They're just stopping people from scamming other people. They're doing their jobs. They're saying, "Hey, you can't break the rules." Okay. And when you get out of debt, you will see 100% there is absolutely no reason to break the rules. This is how I look at it. Okay. My goal is to become wealthy for life. The wealthy create the rules and the laws. Whether you want to believe this or not, it's totally up to you. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It is true. Okay. Now, if they create the rules and the laws, if you want to become wealthy, if you want to become part of that group, you can't break the rules and the laws that the wealthy create on your way up. You cannot do that. That doesn't make any sense. How are you going to break the very laws and rules that the wealthy create and you call yourself wanting to be wealthy? That doesn't make any sense. So you can't do that. Understand the rules, understand the laws, and you will become wealthy, guaranteed. That's it. It's just, people make this more complex than what it is. It's just basic mathematics. That's it. That's the only difference between the wealthy and the not wealthy is math. Fasting is life says true. Math is math. That's it. Math will never change. Math never gets old. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what century you're in, what decade you're in, what year you're in. Math is math, and math will never change. And if you're one of the If you're one of the 45 million people right now that have student loans and don't believe you'll ever pay the student loans off, you are a slave, and you will be a slave until you're dead. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? I want you, and I'm gonna say it to you harshly so you can understand what I mean. If you have succumbed to never believing that you'll never pay off your student loans, you will be a slave until you're dead. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're one. It doesn't matter it's because you're in a nice house and you're driving a nice car and you have a nice job. If you have student loans that are older than your children, you will be a slave until you're dead. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Nothing but pay it off. Nothing. Don't let the politicians fool you. They're doing whatever it takes to get into that seat. They're never, ever, ever going to ever wipe away student loan debt. That will never happen. They will never, ever release that many of their slaves ever. That will never happen. 45 million slaves, you think they're just going to free them? Are you crazy? That'll never happen. They need to populate their slave camps. They need to populate their slave camps. And you're probably thinking, what are slave camps? Student loan forgiveness programs. Those are slave camps. This is a place where they tell you where you're going to work, how much you're going to make, and how long you're going to do it. And you better like it, slave. And then when they're done with you, it's going to be the IRS's turn. If they decide to relieve you of that debt. And you guys saw the video I just made. They denied 99% of the people that followed the rules over 10 freaking years. They denied people of relieving their debt over following the years for the 10 years. And then over the years, and then 10 years later, they say, sorry, you don't qualify. And guess what the slaves do? They re-sign back up for the program again. Only slaves do such things. And then say like you were one of the 1% that got forgiven. Guess what? Then it's the IRS's turn. Say like they freed you because when you're in a program, the interest doesn't stop accumulating. It keeps accumulating. And then once after the 10 years, say like you're the 1% that got relieved. Say like it was $50,000, and then the IRS steps in and says, hey, yeah, you got to pay taxes on $50,000 of that relieved debt. Yes, nobody's free. You don't get to walk away. You better stop fooling yourself. If you don't pay off your student loans, you'll be a slave until you're dead. You'll never be free. You'll never understand what I'm talking about, ever. Nonstop Dre says, I remember being told by an older guy, he who has the gold makes the rules. That is true. Here, let me give you guys a better example so you can understand that the wealthy make the rules and the wealthy make the laws. Just accept it. So say like, you ever see two people say like there's two guys up for rape. They raped a woman, they got caught. One has money and one doesn't. The one that doesn't have money gets years in prison. But the one that has money gets 6 months home detention. The law is the same. What's different? Money. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. It's money. Here, let me give you another analogy so you guys can better understand this, okay? The police, they go to 6 months training, and then they're out on the streets as law enforcers. Lawyers go to school for years to understand the laws. The police don't know the laws like lawyers do, else they would make the police officers go to school the same amount of years as a lawyer. So if the police officers don't know the laws like lawyers and you get a good lawyer, guess what? You're not getting a lot of time because they know the law. It doesn't matter the opinions of people. It doesn't people's opinions about the law don't matter. Only people that understand the laws and how they work. That's why they get off. Money. Six months training, years of lawyer work, years of law school. That's the difference, and that's why. It's clear to me. It's clear. Nonstop Dre says, what do you think would happen if the government only let people who are debt-free vote? Ooh, shoot. Nonstop Dre, put it this way. Let me put it this way. And this is just my opinion, okay? And I just recently learned this when Trump became president, okay? I remember when Trump won the election, and then they said he didn't win by the popular vote, he won by electoral votes. I was like, what? What's the difference? That's what a light went off in my head. I was like, what? What does that mean? I said, okay, what is the popular vote? The popular vote is the people. The people said, nah, we don't want Trump. But then the electoral vote said, we do. And he became president. Right there, I was like, what? What? What does that tell you? People are fighting over this Trump situation. Who cares? I don't really care. It doesn't matter who's the president. It really doesn't matter who's the president. But people are, oh, you voted for Trump. I just want to go, does it matter who you voted for? He wasn't elected by the popular vote. The people he was voted in by the electoral votes. Does it matter? It right now, Nonstop Dre. It doesn't matter. They really indirectly, they only counted the votes from the important people, the wealthy. If you want to see this or not, of course, I can't prove anything I'm saying. It's invisible. It's not written down anywhere. It's not someplace you can see it at. It's just the obvious. Okay, it's obvious. It's the obvious. Dark Man Jeff says, Linnell, someone told me that they're part of the loan forgiveness program. Oh, okay, gotcha. And she's working at an inner city school. She doesn't enjoy the job. She swears that she'll get the loan written off. They got a lot of slaves thinking that, Dark Man. This is what she's not seeing, Dark Man. This is let me show you guys the level of where I'm at, okay? If they have somebody working at a place that they don't want to work at for the next 10 years of their life, if they have a person that's working at a place they don't want to be at, and they don't believe in themselves that they could pay off a loan in 10 years of their life, they have them. They have them. If they can get a person to not believe that they can pay off a student loan out of 10 years of their life, they have them. They're a slave. She's a slave, Dark Man. She don't even know it. That's the best kind of slave to have. A slave that doesn't know they're a slave. That's the best slave to have. The best slave. Dark Man says, I took your advice and didn't say anything, but good luck. I wish you well. Exactly. Dark Man, you have to say good luck. Smile in their face, walk away. It's a double-edged sword, Dark Man. We need people to think that way in order for us to remain wealthy, in order for us to remain free. The majority must think that way, because if everybody thought what I teach, there would be nobody left to finance cell phones, cars, clothes, furniture, washer, dryers, tires, stereo systems, playgrounds, kitty this, kitty clothes, whatever. Doesn't matter. Christmas, finance all that stuff, there would be nobody left. They would open their eyes and say, oh my God, I didn't know I was being taxed twice every time I finance something. Yeah, exactly. But they don't know that. It doesn't matter if they know that, because the majority must remain like that. Snuggle says, what are your thoughts on reparations owed? I don't even think about that kind of stuff. That's just another diversion. I don't think about things like that. If you're in debt, the last thing you need to think about is anything outside of yourself. If you become rich and you want to address reparations, go ahead. You got billions and millions of dollars to address that situation. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. But until you get out of debt, your opinion on that is really irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. E-Man says, I'm glad you told me about IRS taxing you if your loan are forgiving. A lot of people don't know that. They don't. E-Man, the only thing they're thinking about is that loan, that debt. They don't care about what happens at the end. Even in the program, the government tells them this is not guaranteed. You can get on this program for 10 years. It's not guaranteed that we're going to forgive you on this loan. We're not guaranteeing you anything, and people still do it. When people can stop and say, you know what, I'm going to pay this loan off, that's guaranteed. They can guarantee it themselves. That's what I did. I kept my student loan for 10 freaking years. I'm so pissed at myself when I even say it out loud, but I must say it out loud. I kept my student loan for 10 years. What's up, Arcart? Welcome. As you can see, I'm almost 2.5 hours of just yip yapping. Welcome, Arcart. Darkman says, if reparations are given, it would have happened by now. I'm not banking on that. It would have been happened, Darkman. You're exactly right. It's just something, when I hear reparations and all this stuff, it's just something for everybody else to focus up on. Most people believe there's going to be another answer that's going to get them out of debt. Everybody wants to look at everything else outside of them except themselves. All you got to do is look at yourself. Everybody wants to become a millionaire, but nobody knows how to count to 1 million. How are you going to become a millionaire if you don't know how to count to 1 million? Math says that doesn't make any sense. That's what math says. Math says if you don't know how to count to 1 million, how are you going to become a millionaire? That doesn't make sense. And if you don't know how much debt you're in today, if you don't know the exact penny, you're never going to become a millionaire, because you don't know, you cannot count to 1 million. If you got to know where you're starting. If you don't know how much debt you're in, it's mathematically impossible for you to ever count to 1 million. God, I wish somebody would have told me like that in my 20s. Linnell, you want to be a millionaire? Of course, everybody says, yeah, I want to become a millionaire. Can you count to 1 million? Yeah, I can count to 1 million. How much debt are you in? I don't know. Then how can you count to 1 million? You have to start somewhere, right? You have to start with a number. Linnell, you have to start with a number, right? Yeah, I do. What number are you going to start with, Linnell? What do you mean? How much debt are you in? I don't know. Start there. Figure out how much debt you're in. Then I would have walked away, figured out, calculated my debt, and I would have said, that's where you start. Is it in a negative? Yeah, you get it out of the negative up to 0 once you're at 0, and then you can count to 1 million, Linnell. Duh. Here I am with a computer science engineering degree. Very good at what I do. I was a cloud engineer. I put things in the cloud. I made desktops follow people virtually anywhere in the world, make them connect to their virtual desktop securely. I was good at that. But I couldn't use 5th grade. I didn't know how to use 5th grade math on my finances. Oh my God, that makes me mad. Oh, that makes me so mad, you guys. You guys have no idea how angry that makes me. Mm, mm, mm. I could have been a freaking multi-millionaire, billionaire years ago. But that's neither here nor there. I'm glad I'm free. I'm glad I'm. Uh, when I first, after a year of being out of a job, not out of a job, but of not working purposely. I mean, all my years of working, I couldn't even imagine taking a month off. I never even imagined that. I thought a month would be, wow, a whole month off of work. Wow. I haven't worked in 4 years. A month seems like nothing. If you're listening to this right now, let me tell you guys something. If you're listening to this right now, and if you've never taken a solid one, let's just go what 1 month, and during that month, don't do anything related to your job. If you've never done that in your life, you're a slave. That's why you can't do it. You're a slave. If you're at a job you hate, you're there because you're a slave. You have to be there. You're in debt. You're a slave. I know it's hard to swallow, but you better swallow it. The sooner the better. Now, I don't want you guys to think you can't interrupt me. You can ask all the questions you want during this talk. Nonstop Dre says most people want others or something to save them instead of themselves saving themselves. No, yeah, you're right. They believe the lottery ticket or the lottery is going to save them. I mean, you think about it this way: there's trillions of dollars in student loan debt, right? And then when you see the Powerball get up to, a, I think one time the Powerball got up to 1 billion. One time, did it get up to 1 billion? I think it did. No, yeah, I think it did one time. Didn't it? A million or a billion or whatever, right? You would swear if it got up to that, that means nobody's in debt. Yeah, people just doing the dream. They're gonna think that this money's gonna save them. Mm, mm, mm. Money on top of money, selling people dreams. Nonstop Dre says you mentioned that it took you 10 years to pay off your college debt. How long should it have taken you to pay off? If I could do it all over, Nonstop Dre, this is what I would have did. I would have still got student loans because I didn't have any money to go to college, right? But as soon as I graduated and landed that first computer job that was going to pay me the money that I got my degree in the first place, I wouldn't have financed anything. I would have took every penny and paid off that student loan immediately. I would have had that student loan paid off in a year, less than a year. Less than a year, I would have had that student loan paid off. Less than a year. That's what I would have did. I would have paid it off right away. That, let me tell you something, Nonstop. That move alone, because I think about money collectively now, okay? That move alone would have immediately financially set me ahead of 45 million people that have student loans. I would have been financially ahead of them immediately. Thank you, James. It got up to 1 billion. Powerball got up to $1 billion. A billion, over $1 billion of people hoping and wishing for this dream. You see how easy it is to make money? It's so easy. Just like, for example, just like that earning app video I made you guys. Have you guys heard the earning app? How many people in here heard of the earning app? The earning, EARNING, the earning app. The earning app is for people who are in debt because the earning app makes absolutely no financial sense for the user. For the maker, it does. Oh, the maker, it does. But for the user, if you're using this app or any app like it, you are in debt. If you're taking advances off of your paycheck, that means you're not even making it to your paycheck. You're not even making it. And this app is like, they make people give them tips so they can get their money early. Or if you don't give a tip, you only can borrow against your check up to $200. But if you give tips, you can borrow against your check up to $500. They have people paying them to get their money early as if they're doing them a favor. Now, whoever invented that app or apps like it are absolutely 100% brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. People who created online installment loans, brilliant. I personally could not create a business like that, but I would personally invest in a business like that because it is what it is. It's nothing personal. People that use apps like that are choosing. This is a choice. They're not ripping off anybody. They're not taking, well, I can't say they're not taking advantage of them. They are taking advantage of their lack of knowledge of money and mathematics. They are. They're taking advantage. They're taking advantage of people that don't trust math. Okay. So if you want to call that taking advantage of, I guess you can, but everybody has a calculator app on their phone. There's absolutely no excuse. So it's not even really taking advantage of them. It's not. Nonstop Dre says, thoughts on people who do 20 years in the military if they don't like their jobs to only for the pension. Now, Nonstop Dre, I don't knock anything that anybody wants to do within their life. Okay. I'm not knocking 20 years in the military. Maybe they actually enjoy it. Okay. I don't want people to think that I'm talking about some place specifically that, 20 years. Maybe they want to do 20 years in the military. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is this: stay out of debt. Stay out of debt. Pensions, a pension with the military is cool because the military ain't going anywhere. So because if you had a pension with a company and the company goes under, your pension's gone. If you die, your pension's gone. If you have a pension with a company and you retire from that company, you better get that money out of that pension fast, because if you die, the money is gone. It dies with you. A lot of people don't know that. It's like, I didn't know until I became financially free. I used to get life insurance through my job. So I paid through the years of working my life insurance. But once you quit that job, guess what? So does the life insurance. It's gone bye-bye when you get it through your job. You're only getting life insurance as long as you work there. But if you quit, all that money you invested in a life insurance policy is gone. I did not know that, else I would have never did that. Never. I mean, I didn't know to ask the question. I didn't know to say, hey man, if I quit this job, do I get to take my life insurance policy with me? They would have said, nope. Then a light would have went off in my head. I would have been like, then why the hell am I paying for this life insurance? See, that life insurance policy that's not mine. Exactly, Linnell. If this is you need to come see me. Nonstop Dre says, I had some higher ups who strongly disliked their jobs, but told me that they're doing 20 years for the pension while I was active duty. It always seemed odd to me. It is odd because they're telling you right now, the only thing they hate what they do, but the only thing they can look forward to is a pension. What kind of life is that? Sorry, you guys, just a second. What kind of life is that? Sorry, 1 second here. Let me turn this off. I don't know why it's coming through. There we go. Sorry about that. What kind of life is that somebody People in debt don't even realize what they're saying. They don't realize what they're saying. You're in debt. You hate your job. You hate going wherever you're going. You hate what you're doing, but you're going to stay for 20 years at a place you hate for some money. You're going to use 20 years in the time in your life, something that you can never get back. You cannot get those 20 years back to live happily, but you're going to do it for some money. You freaking crazy? There is no way in hell I'd do that. No way. I used to think something was wrong with me because I never stayed at jobs that long. It was the longest I stayed at the jobs was between 5 to 7 years. And I was always bouncing to a new place thinking that my new job with more money was going to satisfy this thing that was inside of me that I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought the new job was going to change that, but it never changed it. Even when I made more money, it never changed that feeling inside of me that I was looking for to satisfy something. When the whole entire time, the answer was get out of debt, Linnell, get out of debt. That was the answer. How do I know this? Because I'm out of debt now. Debt free is the answer. Nonstop Dre says, you're a better man than me. I wouldn't mind owning a business like the one you mentioned earlier. What type of business are you referring to, Nonstop? The reason why I love my business right now is this. I'm going to tell you guys, okay? I have people writing me, contacting me, telling me that I've changed their lives. I have people writing me, donating money to me, letting me know why they're donating money to me. You know why? Because I've helped change their lives. And they tell me, this is the big one. This is the big one I love. This is what a lot of people don't realize, that they're saying this to me. Man, I thought I was going crazy, Linnell, man. I thought I was the only one that thought this way. I thought that doesn't make sense, but people were calling me crazy. I love those people that come to me and say that, because that's exactly how I used to think. I used to think I was crazy. I was like, that math doesn't make sense, but how come people are calling me crazy? Because they're in the debt matrix. Anybody that makes sense like that is crazy to them. Anything that makes mathematical sense is crazy to them. That's why I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I'm helping changing people's lives. I'm helping people change their lives for the better every single day. Now, trust me, there are a majority of people that watch, don't say a word. The majority of people barely like the video. That's why I always say, please like, subscribe, because I'm the same way. I come across a channel that has very valuable information. I'm so immersed in the valuable information, I actually forget to subscribe, or I forget to like, or I forget to reach out or let the person know that they helped me. I actually forget. I do. And that's okay. That's okay. If this is you and I'm helping you change your life right now and you never said anything, I know you exist. So that's okay. That's cool. As long as I did it, I helped you. Great. Cool. What's up, Nicer? Welcome. If this is you and I've helped change your life, great. You don't have to actually spend money with me to for me to appreciate that. Nonstop Dre says the people who pay to get their paychecks early, that they didn't earn it. Oh yeah. I got you. Oh yeah, Nonstop. Man, let me tell you something. There's a ton of apps out there like that now. You better believe they're going to be copying the earning app. There's nothing wrong with participating in that. Once my business starts growing, this is what I'm going to invest in. I'm going to invest in things like the earning app. installment loan places, credit card companies, car loan companies, mortgage, figure out how the mortgage industry works. That's money that's never going to stop ever. That's never going to stop. Doesn't matter how people feel about it. It's all a choice. If you choose to do that, I mean, I personally couldn't open up a company like that. It would be just, that'd be totally wrong. I couldn't do that. I could invest. And if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Linnell, you're about debt free, and we found out that you're investing in the earning app," I say, "Yeah." They say, "Why are you doing that?" Because it's a choice. People who are using the earning app, they're choosing to use it. All they have to do is run the math and say, "Oh my God, I shouldn't be using this earning app," when they run the numbers, but they're just choosing not to run the numbers. That's it. It's nothing personal. Nothing personal at all. So when you guys see me do video reviews of people like Jay Morrison and all these other people, I'm just pointing out mathematical inconsistencies. I'm not saying that they know or don't know what they're saying, if they're bad or if they're good or they're doing anything illegal. I'm just pointing out the things that don't make mathematical sense. It doesn't even matter if they reached out to me and said, "Hey, I can prove them wrong. And mathematically, I can prove them wrong." You guys have any other questions? Anybody new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to hit that like button. My website is scrolling along the bottom there. If you want a free consultation, just go to my website, hit that book now, book consultation, set your own time, whatever time works for you. It's totally up to you. Make sure you set the time zone. The time zone is at the top. Make sure you specify your time zone and we go from there. If you want to share my channel, this is all you got to share. Just do this. Tell them to Google the hashtag SavingsMinusDebt. Say, "Man, I found this dude. He talks about finances unlike any other person on the internet. Google hashtag SavingsMinusDebt." That's all you got to do. And once you Google that, if you're new to my channel, if you Google this, I am the only person that will pop up on your Google search. Let me say that again. If you Google hashtag SavingsMinusDebt, I will be the only person that pops up for the search results. And no, I didn't pay Google to do that. Okay. For donations, this is my Cash App. Okay. For donations. If I've helped you in some way that indirectly, like meaning that you didn't reach out to me and sign up for my services or anything like that, and you're like, "Man, you just helped me. You told me about this phone thing. You told me about this." Hey, it doesn't matter. Whatever amount you decide to give me is appreciated. Okay. And if you can, leave a note in there. I like when you guys leave notes in there of what I've done and why you're doing it. Okay. Here's my PayPal. Same thing. If you don't have a Cash App, there's my PayPal. Hit that link and you guys can donate any amount that you wish. Put in a note, and every dollar donated is appreciated. Now, any other questions as I wrap this up, this 2-hour and 38-minute session? And it's so funny when I do these long sessions, people are like, "Oh my God, that was 2 hours, that was 3 hours." People always tell me about the time, the length I talk about things. This is what I want you guys to understand, the people that I only do these things for those that are ready to hear it. People that are not ready to hear it will not stay on this for 2 hours, 3 hours. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking to them. People are in this microwave mindset, and they're in this microwave mindset even with their finances. Even with their finances. Nonstop Dre says, by the way, Aaron Clary will be live in 30 minutes if you want to check out his stream. He has also written books you'll like on finance. Okay, Aaron Clary. He'll be on in 30 minutes. Okay, I'll check that out. You mean he's coming on about 12:30? Quentin says, I still can't get over that video I sent you the other day about the young 25-year-old man that had $500,000 in debt. Yeah. You mean you talking about the one on Dave Ramsey? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, man, that's bad. He can, you know what? But you got to remember, Quentin, he had a lot of business debt. Okay. And he had a lot of business debt. So he can file bankruptcy and be out of that. He can. He's not stuck. He can file bankruptcy and he'll be free. That's the difference. If he had $500,000 in student loan debt, I'd be crying for him. But he can get out of that. He can just file bankruptcy, tuck his pride away. Don't worry about people in the debt matrix, and he can get out. He can be free real quick. Nonstop Dre says, your channel has helped me a lot, especially being 23. Man, Nonstop, man, I'm just telling you this. Okay. First, I'm glad at 23 that you can hear me. That makes me feel good inside, because I wish to God somebody told me this information at 23. God, man. You have no idea. I would have been a millionaire before I was 30 with a regular job. That's why I say millionaire. It's easy to become a millionaire having a regular job. It really is. Had I had somebody tell me this, I want to go. My next goal is to actually do appearances. I want the young people to come in and hear me. And when they hear me use basic math, they're going to be like, oh my God, really? Yes. It's not complicated at all. At all. Anybody can do it. It's not hard. All you got to do is know how to count to 1,000,000. That's it. You want to become a millionaire? Yeah. Learn how to count to 1,000,000. That's it. That's all you got to do. You got to just know how to count to 1,000,000. Nonstop Dre says, wisdom is very underpriced. I love listening to you in the gym. I'm in the gym right now. That is cool, man. That is cool. I bet you the majority of people your age probably thinking you got some hardcore rap music. Well, that's what I listen to in the gym. I ain't gonna lie. I listen to hardcore rap music because I'll be going hard at it. But I guarantee you at 23, they're not thinking you're listening to some kind of podcast talking about money. Guaranteed. Not even close. Not even close. That is funny. I need to get off here and go to the gym now. I'm gonna wait till 12:30 so I can hear this Aaron Clary. Let me copy that name down because I sure will forget if I don't copy it down. Aaron Clary. There we go. Aaron. Okay. Straight up. Nonstop Dre says, I saw a video of a guy who paid off his girlfriend's student loan. Ooh. And he said girlfriend too. Can you imagine if that doesn't work out? Imagine if that relationship doesn't work out. Ooh, that guy's going to be mad for a long time. Especially if he paid off her student loans and he's in debt. Ooh, wee. Darkman says Aaron Clary is not for the average person. Why do you say that, Darkman? You mean he speaks very complex or something? More complex than what? This is why I love what I do. This is what I keep it basic. I don't think you need to know. When you're in debt, you don't need to know anything fancy. I create the wealth building foundation for everybody to build their wealth upon by removing all the cracks. Cracks are interest payments. Anything you're paying interest on are cracks in your foundation. Remove the cracks and you have a solid foundation to build wealth upon. I teach you how to count to 1,000,000. A lot of people don't know how to do that. But I'm going to check them out. I like blunt. Dark Man says he speaks very candidly and blunt. He will tell you how it is. Some people don't like the truth. A lot of people don't like the truth. Who cares? When it comes to mathematics, listen to this, Dark Man. If I told somebody, hey, 5 plus 5 equals 10, and they didn't like it, who cares? Who sounds crazy? Hey man, 5 plus 5 equals 10. I don't like that. You would look at them like they're nuts, because they are nuts. Who cares if you like or don't like 5 plus 5 equaling 10? That's irrelevant. That's 100% irrelevant. Who cares? Who cares? Nonstop Dre says Aaron Clary speaks the truth and he's very blunt for the average person. I like that. I already like him. I haven't even heard him yet. But I'm gonna definitely check him out at 12:30. You gonna be there, Nonstop? You gonna be in the chat? Is this a live session or is this just a video? I'm assuming you said 12:30, so I'm assuming he's gonna be jumping on live. I'm gonna go over there and see if he's speaking debt or debt free. You better believe my ears are gonna be open. I gotta reach out to one master teacher again. Make sure we're gonna do our thing together, because I enjoy that collaboration. H&M says, Linnell, a lot of people are crying in debt. Yes, they are. Some people know they're in debt. Some people don't know they're in debt. Whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how they feel about it. How you feel about debt is irrelevant. So when you hear people say, I want you guys to pay close attention to this. Never mix your feelings with your money, ever. And math and money are one. If math didn't exist, we wouldn't have the ability to count money. Okay. So when you hear people say, oh, this is good debt, this is bad debt, you got to stop and think to yourself, why are they telling me their feelings about money? Why are they telling me feelings about their debt? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that's good? Why are you saying that's bad? That's irrelevant. Why are you telling me about your feelings? I don't care about your feelings. I just want to know the math about it. Never listen to anybody's feelings about debt. I don't care how people feel about their debt. Debt is just debt. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I want to check out this Aaron Clary guy. See what he's talking about. So you guys have a wonderful day. All right. Thank you, Nonstop Dre, Dark Man, everybody that participated in this session today. Much appreciated. Again, free 30-minute consultation scrolling along the bottom there. Go to my website, click on book consultation, and let's get it started. I'm going to help set you free. Nonstop Dre says he doesn't talk just about finances. He talks about and calls out the BS in society in general. Okay, cool. I'm going to check him out. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. This weekend, I think me and my girl are going to jump on and talk about some things. She's been talking about it. Thank you, Nicer. Appreciate it. You too. You have the same marvelous day. Like I said, me and my girlfriend, she wants to jump on again and have another session, and we might do that this weekend. I'm going to double check with her, but I will make sure to announce it well ahead of time so you guys can be prepared to schedule it to listen, okay? All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.